Hi, welcome to Perfectly Twisted. I'm Nicole Eggert. That is Dave Palais.
How you
Thank
doing
you for
today?
joining us. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. A lot going on, right? Just even in your neck of the woods. I mean, it's a lot going on everywhere, but especially in
I,
your neck of the woods.
the world is going to hell in a handbag here. But I felt like this week went by so fast. Um, Wait, did you ever end up watching Love Hotel on Bravo?
It's funny you say that. I have not caught up to it, but people who don't watch the shows that you and I watch have
Uh,
asked me this multiple times. Like, what do you mean you
mm,
haven't watched this? You watch everything. So
uh-huh.
I have to catch up. This is the week for me to catch up. I think I can do
Okay,
it.
well, it's almost over. It's
Okay.
almost over, and, Shannon Beador is on it, and she gets involved with a guy, and, in just Shannon Beador fashion, it's just nothing but tears and drama, and they as soon as they start to get along, and his name's Earl, and, it's nearing the end. They're about to make their decisions, and Earl has a home apparently in Georgia and in Florida. And while they're filming this, a hurricane is happening, right?
Yes.
And apparently he tells Shannon like everything's fine, everything's good, and she goes out for the night with the other women. And apparently they get drunk and they're dancing on tables. And meanwhile, this hurricane like takes a turn and is heading towards one of his homes. And so the next day, he is just butthurt and mad at her, and that she wasn't checking on him. And why wasn't she checking her phone to do the watch of the hurricane? And she said, well, you told me that it wasn't headed your way and that everything was fine. And I guess after all the partying later in the night, she did go to check on him, and he was ignoring her and wouldn't open the door for
Oh
her.
wow.
Yeah. And is like just being a big baby
Yeah.
about all of this and is extremely mad at her. And she feels terrible. And you know how she behaves when she feels
Of course.
terrible.
Love it. That's what makes
So
her great.
so everybody else is like having the time of their life, dating multiple men and this and that. She's stuck to the one, and she's in tears, sobbing, sobbing, sobbing at the end. And it's just, you got to catch up. We got to
All
chat
right.
about that show. Yes.
You got it. Is she your typical mess throughout the whole show? I mean, nothing changes in her personality, right?
Nothing changes in her personality. And I mean, I think she's putting her best foot forward through most of it, but this guy, Earl, that she pairs up with definitely brings it out in her.
Okay.
Definitely brings out
Perfect.
the Shannon Beador we know. And they're drunk the whole time. I mean, they wake up drinking. They're in Mexico at an
Wow.
adult resort. They're drinking from the jump. Luann is head over heels for this very quirky guy who says he has a PJ. I don't believe him. We'll see. It's funny. It's comical, and it's definitely worth a watch. But
All right. Call me. Maybe I'm crazy. These two women, by the way, are like the horniest women I've ever seen. Like I never meet women like that.
which
Like,
two? I don't think Shannon Beador is.
I
Shannon
think
Beador.
I think Shannon's guy crazy. You don't think she's guy crazy?
I mean, I think she's needs love and is
Okay.
is in
Attention.
need of love. Yes,
Mm,
and Luann is horny and loves attention.
yeah.
So, she's the whole vibrant package of it all, and she's getting exactly what she needs on the show. It's very funny, and she doesn't want to hear anything negative about the guy who is just obsessed with her because he's obsessed with her and she loves it, and she doesn't want to hear one negative thing about it. It's really funny.
Does he have the money to stay with her lifestyle?
I mean, listen, I don't like to count people's coins, but my gut is gonna go with no. And like she says something about PP, and that's her way of like PJ for private plane, private jet. And at one point he says he has a PP, and I think he's doing it as a play on words, and I don't think he means it. And I think she's drunk and isn't catching on, and she thinks he has a private jet. I don't know. I could be wrong about all of it, but it's entertaining
Wow.
nonetheless. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I don't know. But yeah, it's it's funny.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta tune in. So, around Christmas time, my Keegan had sent me a video, and because we make jokes because she's a shopper. She's a shopper, and she sends me this video. We'll play it now.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm wasting a lot of your money, but I'm gonna have to get a nutcracker and an ornament. I love it here. Mom, this is the best tree I ever saw in my.
Oh, cute. Hannah, look what's right next to it.
This one might be my favorite litter. I'm not even joking.
I don't think you're joking at all.
Oh my goodness. Huh?
Yes. Eiffel Tower.
Wait, can you buy
Oh,
these?
look.
Can?
Yes, you can buy them.
So she sends me that video, and how adorable is this little girl, right? And sorry, mom, I don't mean to spend all your money, but I need this one and this one, and then and the video went viral, millions and millions of views. I think 50 million views, an enormous amount of views. And then later, after I had a chemo, and you know how I talk about like my palate got
Yeah.
like super sensitive, I see this little girl again, and she's in a restaurant, and she's like, there's a hint of this and a hint of that. And she's talking about all the spices and ingredients that she tastes. And I think some of them make sense and some of them don't. And I'm like, that's me. Like, I know I can just taste things. I'm not sure what they are exactly, but I can taste them. And this is another viral video, and she's just absolutely adorable. And then I read about her, and we have her mom here today as a guest, and she has a, metabolic disorder called cystinosis, and it's super, super rare. So we have her mom here today. Let's talk about bringing awareness and making these viral videos and all the fun that they have. This is Dawn Strickland. Hi.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. I mean, the videos are adorable. She she is such a character and she's so vibrant and so beautiful, and I had no idea that there was anything going on. Like you can't tell that anything.
You can't.
No, you can't tell at all.
No, it's very deceiving.
Very deceiving. And you have 2 of your 4 children that have this disorder, correct?
Yes, I do. That's correct. So I have 4 children total, and my oldest is 22, and then Joel, who also has cystinosis, is 20. And then I have Grace. She does not have it, and she is about to turn 16 on Tuesday. And then Hannah just turned 9.
She's 9 already. So
No.
what made you think to turn to social media to bring awareness? Like, how did that all just happen, or was that organic? Or
I would say yes and no. I would say yes and no. I didn't sit and think I don't know. The bottom line is I'm always thinking about it. I'm always thinking about cystinosis. Obviously, since my son is 20, he was almost 3 when he received his diagnosis. So this has been years in the making. I've always been talking about cystinosis because it's so rare. And when something burdens your heart so bad, you want to speak about it, especially if it affects your child. It's just a mother's nature, I think, to want to share their story. I mean, moms get online and talk about absolutely everything, lots of things that are not even, important. So this was just something that was always important to me. And then a lot of time went by. Joel had 2 kidney transplants. He had his first transplant when he was 13, 14. Then unfortunately had to have another one 2 years later. So his teen years were completely kind of snatched away from being very, very ill. Um, and that was hard on all of us. I mean, that was something that we all had to navigate as a family. I know that every one of my children, my husband, we were all affected by that, not just Joel, which Joel was greatly affected by it. So I suppose as the years went by, you sit back and you think when you can catch your breath, how do I share my story? How do I share my story in a way that will captivate people, that people will listen. I've always loved to write. I love to talk. I mean, I'm a woman, so naturally I love to talk. But as Hannah was growing up, that's the part that was just so natural. Her personality is, and I always thought to myself, is it just me? Is it just me here? You know, but now I know with millions of views, it's not just me. She's very captivating. She is, in fact, I'll never forget one of her visits to the nephrologist. He looked at me and he was like, I think she might be a genius or something. And he just didn't know what it was. I mean, she is average intelligence. But she is so witty, and her timing is impeccable, and she is just over the top captivating. So I guess as the time went on, that's the part that kind of became organic. I never did social media publicly before. I had my blog. I had things that I would share kind of very privately. And then October of, let's see, 23. So it's just been a little over a year ago. I uploaded what I thought was a hilarious video. And I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll hashtag cystinosis. And that very first video went insanely viral. I mean, and so the first two videos I put, when I say viral, it was at least 20 million. And I don't know if you've seen that one, but there's one where she's asking for some fancy honey. That was technically her first video that I had posted, but that was an older video in my phone. My channel got hacked. And so as soon as I went viral, it immediately got hacked because I didn't know what I was doing, you know? And so I sat down, and we had only been online for maybe literally like, oh gosh, a couple of weeks, and we were already wildly viral, and I had like almost 200,000 followers on TikTok, and it literally came crashing down overnight. So I really sat down and I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and I said, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, am I supposed to be sharing things public? Because obviously it had already gained so much traction and attraction that I was receiving very mixed messages. They're like, why is she hashtagging this? Is her kid sick or not? Or, you know, there was a lot of speculation. I was getting really bizarre messages, like, you know, just over, you know how people are. I'm sure, I can only imagine. So I thought, you know what? I am going to do it. I had a peace about it. I really did pray very sincerely for several days. And I tried it again. And I said, if it goes viral again, then I'll stick this out. And the brand new channel, brand new everything, a totally different video went wildly viral overnight. Literally, when I say overnight, I mean, I wake up the next morning and have like 20 million views. So that was just kind of my sign. So was it organic or not? I think it was a little bit of both. I know that's a very long-winded answer, but it's like years in the making. But then also it kind of happened overnight. So it's a weird story.
Yeah, it's like what's meant to be is,
Yeah.
right?
I think so. And it's hard as a parent to navigate. Okay, I'm kind of putting it all out there. I mean, obviously there are things that I reserve for a more private setting, but in essence, it's out there. And I constantly ask myself, are my kids going to be okay with this when they're older? Obviously, Joel is older. He's 20. So I have to be very cognizant of, you know, what is appropriate. What is he okay with? That's why you don't see his photo a lot, because he's like, Mom, I don't want to be out there. So I have to be careful and tell my story from my perspective. I have to be careful about what I share, medically speaking. I don't want to cross any line, but again, I do desperately want to get the word out there. So it's a fine line. I feel like I'm walking every single day, and I'm always thinking about it, you know, what is okay and what's not okay.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Now, Joel, yeah, because I noticed he's not in the videos, and so he chooses not to. And he was your first, correct? And you noticed him. There was a lot of vomiting and a lot of strange things, and you had to advocate so hard to get that diagnosis.
We did. So he was my second son, but obviously our first was cystinosis. And at that point, my older son was 2. So I kind of felt like I knew how kids should behave and how they should thrive and how they should grow. At this point, I was kind of familiar with being a mom. And yeah, he was not thriving. He was not growing. He didn't present vomiting straight away, but I do recall by the time he was 4 months old, I had taken him to a pediatrician and I had said, he doesn't seem to eat well. He doesn't latch on properly still at 4 months. I feel like he should be gaining more weight. He was petite. I'm not petite. I'm 5'9". My husband's not petite. My older son is a big boy. So I'm thinking, why is this kid small? This is just, and the pediatrician, oddly enough, was like, well, some kids are just small. And I'm like, how does that work? How does that work? I mean, sure, some kids are small, but I mean, we're talking a major difference. So that the story is long and it's painful. We kept searching, we kept going. He eventually landed in the hospital where we're from, which is in the Pensacola area. And he was seen by a nephrologist there. They realized, okay, his labs are out of sorts and this and that and the other. But I remember Joel had been in the hospital at that point, probably 7 or 8 days. And I said to the doctor, I said, are you confident that we're going to get to the root of the issue? I'm glad that you're treating him, but we don't have a diagnosis. What is this? And I said, because if you don't know, I feel like we've got to go down the road and go somewhere else. And he looked at me and he said, I'm baffled. I don't know what it is. And I said, okay, hey, I appreciate the honesty. That's all we need, but we need a ticket out of here and we need to go somewhere that does know. And so where we were in that area, that's in the panhandle of Florida, I had an option to either go to the University of Alabama at Birmingham, or and they have a really excellent children's hospital, or I had the opportunity to go to Shands, and they were about the same distance from us. I chose Alabama. And it's a wonderful facility, but they treated him for the wrong condition for 7 months. So that was painful. The one good thing they did was he had a G-tube surgery. So they immediately started giving him nutrition and meds and things like that. So we left there. And at the time, my mother-in-law, who is an ICU nurse, she's extremely intelligent. She's asking, her doctor friends and her nurse friends, and they're trying to gather up information. And they were living in Tennessee at the time. And I said, we're just going to go to Vanderbilt. I knew they had a wonderful children's hospital. So I'm like, and where we were, that was like a 7 or 8 hour drive. I tried to call, I tried to get appointments. Nobody would see me. Nobody would, you know how it is. Specialists, you're going to wait forever. You're going to wait for a long time. And so at this point, I'm feeling crazy. I mean, I'm actually feeling crazy. I'm like, we don't have a diagnosis. We don't have anything. We're just treating this child and nothing's really getting better. And so my husband and I talked about it, and I went and sat in the ER like a crazy lady. It's embarrassing. And they were like, what's wrong with your son? And I'm like, he's sick. Nobody knows what's wrong with him, but he's sick. And I'm just not going to leave. They're like, well, we can't really admit you because he doesn't have anything at the moment. He's not, and the ER is busy and it's crazy. And I said, I'm not leaving. And they said, you're actually going to have to leave. And I said, I tell you what, I'll leave if you get me an appointment with the nephrologist, because I can't seem to get in with him. And they were like, this lady is serious. She's crazy. And I actually, at that point, I was fearful. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to like call, the officer, and they're going to like drag me away. But I think my husband and I became very desperate for an answer, something solid. And miraculously, they were able to get me an appointment the next day and got me out of the ER. And that was when we saw a nephrologist there. We got a definitive diagnosis and we moved forward. I ended up coming back to our home area with a diagnosis in hand. And then he began the treatments. And that's how it all happened.
And that is how it's done.
It just, I don't know. I mean, still to this day, it makes me feel crazy when I think about it. It's hard to think about it. I hate that we have to do, I think things are better now. I mean, my gosh, even just having Google and being, I mean, it's also dangerous, right, to Google everything. But I think it's so helpful. I mean, you got to figure this was, 18 years ago. There's just the internet was not inundated with information like it is now, So
Right, but I mean, even when it is, you still can't really self-diagnose, right? You still need that doctor behind
I
you. You
didn't go
still
to
need a
med school, right?
yeah, you
I
still
didn't even
need
finish
the
college,
treatment
so this
plan.
is like terrifying. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think you did that's exactly what I would have done as a mother, is sat there and said, "I know that you have a doctor here that could have
Yeah.
some answers for me." And
At
this is
that point, I just felt like there was somebody that was there. I knew it.
And yeah, that's self-advocating, and it's just in America, it's what we have to do.
It is.
I wish I could say to you, I think it's better, but I don't. I've had to do it myself. I've had to throw myself in front of doctors and with no appointment and say, "Just hear me out. Just listen to
Just,
my story."
I can't
Um,
imagine.
and a lot of people, unfortunately don't have that, that drive or even the guts or the stamina or the energy or the know-how or anything to do any of that. And it just gets so scary that things fall under the radar. So then when you had Hannah, you asked for her to be tested at a very young age for it,
I
right? So
did.
you could get a handle on it right away.
Yes. So the nephrologist that was treating Joel at the time, excuse me, I went to him and I said, I think we should get Hannah tested. And he said, well, according, to her chart and everything, she looks great. So I don't really recommend getting her tested. And I said, well, I just want to get her tested. It would make me feel better. And so he did, kind of reluctantly. I'm not really sure why, but so at 4 months, she was, I want to say, so May, June, July, August, about 5 months, we received her diagnosis. And I was like, oh God, it was like a thing. She wasn't presenting at all like he did. She had no problems eating. She was just not overall as sickly as he was, which, I still to this day can't explain it. I don't really know why. And I'm not really sure why I felt like she needed to be tested, but I did. And I'm glad we did, because she was able to start everything a little bit earlier. We were allowed to get a little bit more ahead of the game. She had her G-tube surgery at 1 year old, and that prevented a lot of problems. She was able to immediately start getting her medications. I didn't have to fight with her on doing things orally. Because as you can imagine, giving medication to a 1 year old is
Yeah.
really not fun. And so, yeah, so we were able to start everything very early on.
That surgery you're talking about is the feeding tube, correct?
Yes, yes, it's a gastrostomy tube, so it goes in, and we're able to do everything in there. She still doesn't eat really well at all, but she loves to eat. That's kind of the passion, behind some of these videos, is that food is genuinely fun to her. She really loves it. She loves the flavors. I think she actually does. People are like, some of the comments, they're crazy because they don't know, and that's fine, and I just let them go at it online. It is what it is. But I feel like she does taste things more intensely, kind of like you were saying at the beginning. Your taste was all over the place. I think for her it's similar, probably not the same thing, but the truth of the matter is I don't know what kinds of side effects some of her medication has in regard to her taste. There are lots of things that I just don't know. I don't think that it affects her taste. But I know overall her medication affects her appetite. So when she does get hungry, she's like very hungry, and she's like, I want to try this, and I want to, and then she gets excited, and so obviously as a parent, I'm going, you it is it's our nature to want to nurture our children. We want to feed our children. We want to clothe our children. We want to do these very basic things. And when that gets kind of stripped away as a parent, it's hard. I want to feed my kids. I want everything to be normal. I just want things to be normal. So if she says, I want to go to a restaurant that's going to cost us, $30, $40 a plate, we load up and we go. It is, can we pay the bill? I don't know if we're going to go, you know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
she wants whatever restaurant she's craving, whatever, if she wants to come in the kitchen and try a new recipe, we're there, we're doing it. It's just going to happen because we want to encourage that for her, that love of cooking and eating, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the one video she's at a Japanese restaurant, right? And she's
Yes.
having ramen and talking about all the things
Yes.
and the flavors that she's tasting, and it's
She was so excited. And I
adorable.
didn't even realize it was so funny because we were about to go on our first big trip. And we got invited out to Utah. We were so excited. And we went to this place that we had ordered takeout from there before, but we had never sat down in the restaurant. We're kind of bad about that. We're like homebodies. We're like, let's get the food and go home. But we sat there and she wanted this ridiculous over the top bowl of ramen that has all the things in it. And I was like, Hannah, you can't even eat half of that. Oh, please let me get it. And I thought, whatever, I don't care. It's fine. So I had no clue. I record everything. Again, people are like, oh my gosh, get the camera out of your kids' faces. I would be like this. I have years worth of videos. I record my children. They know it. It's just me. And so, yeah, naturally she's adorable sitting there eating. And I had no clue. I was like, what are you saying, Hannah? When she said, and my husband's like, it's a tomato, really?
Yeah, the hint of tomato. I was like,
Yeah, it cracks us up equally as much because they're like, oh, the mom is, she's got to be pushing this on her kid, or the kid watches too much Food Network. I'm like, no, really, it's just all her.
A hint of what?
A little hint of spiciness, like a little hint of soy sauce, a little hint of the tomato, a little hint of the spice.
Tomato in ramen?
Yeah, it actually has like a little hint of tomato.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What is a hint?
I don't even know. It just sounds like a good word.
yeah, she looks like a little foodie.
She does.
Is so
She loves
cute
it.
and just
She genuinely loves to be in the kitchen.
very determined, very sure of herself. And you obviously doing a great job. And how is Joel doing? Is Joel doing well?
He is actually doing very well. I'm so proud of him. He works a lot, like a whole lot. He's actually working on his EMT license, which is like, it's kind of
Oh,
hard for me to even say because I'm so proud of him. Um, he went through so much, medically speaking, he went through so much. So the fact that he wants to kind of turn that around, I know he'll probably give you a different story. He'll say, oh, I'm just doing it for the money. I'm just doing it for this. But deep down, he has this desire to help people. He has this amazing way of connecting with people. He gets it. When some of his coworkers are kind of like, oh, this patient, this Joel will get upset. He gets that kind of like, build up and rise up in your system when you see a little bit of injustice. That is Joel. I mean, he is like the underdog. He's smaller in stature. He's grown a lot since his kidney transplant. But for whatever he lacks up in size, I mean, he is there. He just wants to help. He wants to do something good. I'm so proud of him. He's even contemplated going into nursing after EMT. So I'm thrilled. He's living a full life. It's all because of a donor. It's never lost on me. I say it as often as I can. If you can sign up to be a donor, do it. It changed his life completely.
yeah. Yeah, he really kind of trailblazed for you guys, right? Like he went through a
A
lot
lot.
of dead ends and a lot of
Yes.
unknowns until you
Yes. And
finally got somewhere.
yes. And so, and watching him grow and thrive in the midst of all that he had faced is one of my biggest joys. I mean, absolutely. When he comes home and he tells me, about what's gone on in the day and how he's helped a patient, how he's done this, how he's done that, I'm like, I can't believe it. One time I was looking, how you look at your kids' locations, I don't know, maybe you're not as bad as I am, but I am like
I do.
stalking everybody all day long. It's like I don't have anything better to do. But so I naturally I'm like, oh, where's Joel? And for a split second, my heart sank because he had just started this job and it said he was at the hospital. And it just happened in a split second, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course he's at a hospital. He drives an ambulance. And it was such an amazing. I really can't even put into words how I felt, but I was like, I'm looking at his location because he's helping somebody, not because he needs help at the moment. And it was just, I don't know, it was huge. I was just so grateful for it to be able to see that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That really is. It's full circle, him giving back and wanting to do his part to help. That's just amazing. And I love that he wants nothing to do with the videos and the social media.
No, he
It's
thinks
so
I'm
funny.
crazy. He's definitely, yeah, he's at that moment. He's like, oh my gosh. But then also he can't escape it because his coworkers and stuff, they follow us, like everything I post. And so they'll be like, I saw your mom was cooking beef stroganoff. He's like, oh my gosh. She puts everything out. So he's mortified, but like it's also a healthy, like you kind of expect your kids to be embarrassed of you. So I hope and pray he's not embarrassed of me or ashamed of me. I don't mind if I embarrass him in a traditional way, like, we're all going to embarrass our kids. So again, it's that walking that fine line constantly.
Right. Well, you're obviously doing an amazing job because all of the kids seem healthy and happy and wonderful. And Hannah is a ham. I mean, it's like she was meant to do this.
I think so.
I hope she continues. I feel like whatever she wants to do, she's going to get there.
I feel like you're exactly right. This morning, she told me she is. When I say she is a hoot, it really is an understatement. I mean, she is so funny, and you cannot possibly capture all of the funny things she says. I mean, I can't even. My husband and I were like, we'd have to have cameras all over the house all day long because she is just. She's so funny. But this morning, one of the things that she said to me, and it really kind of took me, made me take a step back because I thought, is this something she wants to do? But she said, I'm so disappointed. And I said, oh gosh, what are you disappointed about at like 9 a.m.? And she said, she goes, well, that little girl in the new Lilo and Stitch movie, she said, she is so beautiful. And she sings and she speaks so beautifully. And I said, so that disappoints you? And she said, just don't understand why they didn't choose me. And I was like, could it be because you're not an actress and you didn't go out for the movie? Like,
Yeah.
she thinks people should just knock on her door, I guess, and give her a major movie role. I don't know.
Well, they just might. She might be onto something here.
It was so funny.
I mean, I hope she doesn't get tired of making the videos because I very much enjoy them, as do millions and millions of people. So tell us your the handle where people can find you. If I know everybody's seen the videos, but if you haven't, please go check them out.
Yes. So our Instagram is Fight for Cystinosis X2. I feel like we're gonna have to put that on the screen because it's such a handful. I know. I thought about changing the name, and then TikTok, it's Fight for Cystinosis 2, no X. It's mainly because the first channel got snatched from me. So anyway.
Yeah, well, I think if people start to put in "fight for Sista," it'll pop up.
Yes, yes.
Got the most views of anything. Yeah, it's such a.
I did that as well. I typed in just "fight," and I was like, "Oh, there we are."
There you are. Yeah, well, it's super wonderful what you're doing and the awareness and fighting for people who don't have necessarily the strength or the the energy to do that. So good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. All my best to you, and I will keep watching. And Hannah is a little star.
Thank you. She wanted to come on and say hello. Is that okay?
Yes, please. Oh my gosh.
Let me call her brother because he's back there watching her. She was like,
yes.
She said, why doesn't she want to speak to me the whole time? And I was like,
oh, bring that little
It's so funny.
Cutie pie on here.
Hey, Donna. Hey, babe. Does Hannah still want to talk? Jasper. Just come out here if she does, okay? Give it a second. They're just in the bedroom. If I had her out here, though, she would be like turning cartwheels and talking about tearing
Do you
things
think I
down.
could throw some like rapid fire questions at her? Would she be okay with that? Do you think?
Oh, she,
Just
hey,
fun,
I
a
never
little
know
one.
with Hannah. You can do whatever.
Okay.
We'll see what if she's not interested. Trust me, you'll know because she'll be like, she'll give you a face. it's a very teenagery face. She's going through a
I'm used to
teenager
it.
phase at 9. Yes.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I got one at home.
Right? And especially since she has, Gracie is about to turn 16. So she thinks in fact, on her birthday, she wanted all of Grace's friends for her birthday.
Oh,
You want me to turn this off? You want to come say hello or no? Are you in the mood? You don't sure? So this is Miss Nicole and Mr. Dave. Since you don't have pants on, you should probably sit.
hi, Miss Hannah.
Oh, you can't hear it. Let me take the AirPods up.
No, I can hear.
You can hear it. You want to put one in?
I just put it on.
Oh, clean it off. Are my ears that bad? Put it on the right side. There you go. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
I can't see your face. It's gonna
Hi,
actually.
Hannah.
Hi.
Hi. I love your videos. I first saw your videos because my 13-year-old daughter had sent it to me and was like, how cute is she? And how are we so much alike with our shopping habits?
Hannah loves to shop.
Yes.
You say that's one of your favorite things to do? Yeah.
Well, I enjoy your food videos because I'm a foodie myself. So, Hannah, can I ask you a couple really quick, fun questions? I'll throw 2 things at you, and you just answer the first one that comes to your mind. Okay? Can we try? Okay. Okay. Cupcakes or cookies?
Cupcakes.
Okay.
You gotta talk just a little bit louder.
Unicorns or dragons?
Unicorns.
I figured. I kind of had a hunch on that one. Okay. TikTok dances or prank videos?
TikTok dances.
Yes. Glitter or slime?
Slime.
Slime.
Well, how about glitter slime? Is that even better?
That'd be better, right?
Okay, well, I see that you wear a lot of glasses, and so do I. So, sunglasses indoor, yes or no?
Sometimes, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Same. Well, Hannah, it's so lovely to meet you, and I think that you are so amazing, and I want you to just keep doing what you're doing and being you, your amazing little authentic self. We are all loving watching you, and you just, you bring it like it is. You tell it like it is, and we really love that.
Is that your real personality? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for you because she mentioned this the other day. Do you do any acting?
No.
No. Do you listen to me when I tell you to do things? So? No.
No, you can tell she's definitely got her own
No.
wheels are turning. Yeah, this is not
So
staged.
funny.
So would you want to be an actress one day, Hannah?
What did you say that you not at all? Not even. Yeah.
You got a long time to think about it.
You have a
could
long
be
time to
anything
think
you
about
want to be. Yeah.
What would you want to be when you grow up? A chef. Yeah,
A
that's
Wow.
she
chef.
says that all the time. Yeah,
Well, it sounds like you have the palate for it. So
we do.
yeah. And she is definitely adventurous with her eating. So
Absolutely.
you've got all the makings of a chef, my lady.
What's your favorite thing to cook with me? Chicken noodle soup. That's a good one.
Oh, from scratch. You guys make
Yes.
like a homemade.
Mhm. We do, don't we?
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
she's pretty good at it. Yeah.
Oh, I love chicken noodle soup, and I put a lot of lemon in there. Oh,
Oh, we haven't put lemon, have we? I might have to try that, huh?
ooh,
Yeah.
it's so good. Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for joining us, Hannah. We're going to be watching you, and we'd love to see your videos.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for... Bye.
Be careful. Step over the.
That's so funny.
So funny. Like I'm done.
Amazing.
That was good. We got her on.
Yes. You never know with her. I wasn't sure. I love you, babe.
Oh, yeah. You never know at that age, and
Mm-mm.
I don't blame her.
And she gets embarrassed. She was on the we were called out to go to the Jennifer Hudson show.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
I guess they expected her to, and I'm like, you have to understand when I'm recording her, it's just me and her, and we're just chatting, and she's just comfortable. It's not like, we have a crew here at the house recording her. So this is totally different. They're like, she's really kind of quiet. I'm like, go figure. You have like a camera in her face.
Big cameras, an audience,
Yes,
lights, a
the audience.
soundstage, a bunch of
I
strangers.
was proud
going on
that she
cheering
even
you.
walked out there, honestly, because I'm 40 something, and that was quite intimidating. I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I don't blame her for a
Yeah.
second. Yeah, mine would never. Mine, even now at 13, she would.
Right?
And I have a 27-year-old. She would never either. They'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks."
It
Outta
was a
here.
lot. It was fun though, so fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. Yeah, you can catch that episode, and they have a video of that. Jennifer Hudson's great. Yeah, that's a good show. Well, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, and keep doing you. And you're helping so many people that otherwise wouldn't know what was going on. So it's really
Thank you
important.
for giving me the opportunity. Really, it's just, anytime we're able to speak about it, I'm so grateful. So thank you for giving me another opportunity to speak about it. I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, well, we'll talk to you soon, and yes, and I will see you online.
Thank you. We will keep you in our prayers as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was cool. That was nice. That was very sweet.
She's so cute. Yeah. Because it's crazy when you think like something's not right with your kid, and you have a
Yeah.
mother's intuition, and the doctors are like, "No, it's just they're just small." And you're like, "No, I feel something. I feel and I was reading about it a bit, and life expectancy was really short for
Wow.
people with this disorder. So now that they're aware, and there's treatments, and there's people like Dawn talking about it, it's these things are important. I mean, it's
Yeah.
life changing, literally. So
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
no, very scary. Whenever it's your kid, always scary.
yeah,
Yep.
I would have been exactly like her, sitting in that ER room, going, "I'm not going anywhere."
Exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, so it's amazing. So,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow.
yeah,
Well, good. I'm glad she's headed everyone's headed in the right direction.
yeah, and the little girl's obviously thriving.
Yes.
So love it, love it, love it, love it. So well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.